Hello, it's Jane here in a different room today, and I've got my mat at a funny angle just so you can see how this one works. It's a chakra flow, and it might be helpful to have a strap around just for a few of the poses to get the most out of them. So lie down on your back. Constructive rest pose is a good one here, with the knees bent, feet as wide as the mat, knees rolling in together, hands on the belly or by the sides, or if you want to stretch out the legs, feel free. So a few years ago I did a very popular workshop called the Chakra Workshop, where we did a flow and worked through all of the chakras. So for the next few weeks, what I intend to do is to create a yoga flow focusing on one chakra at a time, really slow things down instead of doing everything at once. Don't we all need that sometime? So the first chakra is the root chakra, and it's called Mooladhara, and it means the support or the foundation. And the first chakra is located at the base of the spine, but it also includes the legs. And in this pose, we use the resistance of the strap and the floor to energize the legs and build up this energy in the lower part of the body around the spine. So with this being the root chakra, there's that connection with the earth, rooting down, nice spring connections there. And it's good to think elementally on this chakra, which allows us to feel supported. The ground and the earth is where we get our stability, where we feel that solid connection. And this is what we're trying to build and balance here. We are trying to really feel grounded in ourselves. During trying times, we sometimes feel as though we're all over the place and we're not really touching base. So this is a nice flow to do, to really connect you with the earth, to who you are, and to feel in turn grounded, solid, stable, and ready to build from there. On a physical level, we focus on strengthening the base. So when you're ready, inhale the knees towards you, and we come to knees to chest pose, so a little roll side to side. And feel the difference in the base of the spine. Take time to feel the floor massaging your lower spine rather than your back massaging the floor. And then when you're ready, we'll take the strap, or you don't need to use a strap. You could just hold on to the back of the leg. But if you've got a strap, you can use this for the energetic level of the pose. So we don't want the foot too far forward. We want the foot level with the hips. We can have a bend in the knee if we need to. And it doesn't really matter what foot you're going to use first, which leg. But what we're going to do is bend the knee a little and then hold the strap like a triangle with the two hands either side and the foot in the air. And as you inhale, bend the lifted knee a little towards the chest. And as you exhale, gently push your foot into the strap. We're using the resistance of the strap to energize the legs, and this opens the channels in the legs to build up energy. And it goes without saying, if you feel any pain in any of these poses, then please stop. It should feel really good. It might be challenging in parts during this flow, but it shouldn't be painful. So when you've done between 5 and 8 of these little stretches and resistance, then we're just going to slowly guide the leg out to the side. So whichever leg is in the air, use the same hand to hold the strap and keep the opposite hand on the opposite hip. We want to keep the 4 corners of the torso grounded, so the 2 corners of the hips and the two corners of the shoulders. Imagine this as a square. Incidentally, the symbol of the root chakra is a base is a square. So if you can try and think of squares when we make contact with the ground, that's a really nice way to also feel this chakra. On an inhale, bring that leg up, and we're just going to twist it over. And again, we want to keep those four corners of the torso in contact with the ground. So if you feel like you've gone too far and one of your shoulders or hips are lifting off, then just ease off. You don't have to get over to the floor on the other side. That's not the point of this pose. The point of this pose is to really feel the pelvis and around that area where the base chakra is located. Inhale, bring that leg back to center. Give the knee a little hug. Thank you, knee. And we'll swap over. So again, with the foot on the floor, you can bend the knee or keep the leg out straight. Yogi's choice here. And in between poses, sometimes it's quite nice just to observe how the body feels, one side and then the other. And then we'll get ready to do the other side. So just making sure that your strap is to hand, taking the strap around the arch of the foot. So give that knee a squeeze first, and then just take hold of the strap. Or if you're not using a strap, just take the hand around the back of the thigh, and instead of pushing against the strap, and you can just bend and straighten. And again, we don't want the foot too far forward. No, we want it so the foot is around the hip level. And then we take hold of the strap with two hands, create the triangle so the backs of the arms stay on the ground all the way to the elbow. Then we bend and straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, push into the strap gently. We don't want to overstretch the knee, so we end up hyperextended the knee. Especially important for anybody who's hypermobile. We want to keep stability in the leg. So we're going to do about 5 or 8, depending on how you breathe. And then whichever leg is in the air, take the strap over to that same hand and the opposite hand on the top of the pelvis, and take that leg out to the side so it doesn't have to touch the ground. It might just be over a little way. Feel that energy from the soles of the foot coming up the legs and pulling around the base of the spine in the pelvis. And the pelvic area is very important in the aspect of the root chakra balancing. And it's also very, very powerful in yoga itself because it's the powerhouse, the base of the torso. Inhale, bring the leg up, and then swap hands and twist, keeping those 4 corners of the torso in contact with the ground. Imagine you can hug the muscles into the bones. That will help with stability. And in the root chakra, we do focus on solid things, focusing on bones and muscles and feeling the flesh of the body. And then when you're ready, just get rid of the strap. We'll need it a little bit later, but for now, just let it get out of the way. Hug the knees into the chest. And we're going to take a bridge pose after we've settled. So just lie in Shavasana for a moment and see where you can feel energy fizzing around the body. Might be nice now to give yourself a stretch, and then bend the knees, and we want the knees and the heels and toes all in one line. And we're going to just take the palms by the side and lift up, or you could interlace the hands. And when we come into bridge, we're going to begin with flows. So begin to push the feet into the floor first, and continue pushing into the legs and slowly lift the hips. So push down to rise up, inhale to lift up, and exhale, lower. Now you can stay with the flows, or you could stay up now in a bridge pose. And the action is in the legs, not the belly. Draw the knees towards each other. So if you've got a block between the knees, rotating the thighs inwards at the same time. Press evenly into 4 corners of each foot. So the two corners of the heel and the base of the big toe, base of the little toe, if you imagine a square there. And keep breathing. This strengthens the legs, improves shoulder flexibility, and stimulates the nervous system. And to exit the pose, lower slowly, bring the knees into the chest. I'm going to roll all the way over onto the belly. Coming into cobra pose. So we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders and draw the legs together as if you were making a snake tail. Firm up the belly, pull the abdominal muscles in, hug into your core. And as you inhale, slowly lift, roll the shoulders back. Just using the muscles of the back to lift. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, lowers. And just keep things nice and easy, no strain. And maybe stay up for a few breaths. Maybe keep rolling up and down. And really rooting down through the pelvis here into the earth. Hug those elbows into the low ribs. And rest now. And just feel the energy of the body now. Notice where it is. And we'll try a few more. So palms alongside the shoulders. Root down through the pelvis. Firm the legs. Inhale, lift. And just maybe a little higher, as long as it's no pain in the back. You're using the muscles of the back rather than pushing too hard down into the floor. Exhale and lower. Palms alongside the body. And we'll rest again here. And then we're going to move into locust pose in a moment. So we're going to keep the palms alongside the body, palms facing down. As you inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, lower. And really feel the energy in the legs as you lift and lower. We want to soften the heart, extend into the right leg and then the left leg. And we just want to keep that connection with the pelvis and the ground even when we lift the leg. And then we're just going to release the hands. And we're going to big inhale up to all fours, tucking the toes, and child's pose. So just using this as a counter pose. And then from here we will very gently make our way into our downward dog. So take your time. Tuck your toes, press into the hands, lift the hips up, keep a deep bend in the knees. Hands shoulder width apart, feet hip width apart, upside down V. So keep the knees bent and keep both the hands and the feet firmly in contact with the floor. Imagine you're trying to stretch the mat. So you're reaching forward, pressing into the hands, so you're sliding the mat forward and sliding the mat back with the feet. Keep the knees bent as much as you need to. There's no need for the heels to touch the ground. We work towards that. Some days it happens for me, some days not so. And then we're going to tiptoe the feet towards the hands. We're going to come to a standing forward fold. So once again, bend the knees as much as you need to. The hands can touch the floor, or you can take a rag doll. And this stretches the whole of the back of the body. And through the feet, I've just turned round. I think it's a better angle than just looking at my backside. So we're just going to feel that energy rooting down through the feet. Then a little twist, take one hand to the ground, inhale the opposite arm up. Maybe that's too much, keeping the hand on the floor, so you could take it up to the thigh. So again, we'll twist, keep one hand down on the floor or on the thigh, raising the opposite hand. And keep breathing smoothly and deeply. And back to ragdoll, just for a few more breaths. Again, feeling the connection through the feet into the earth, feeling the energy rising up through the feet, up the legs, into the base of the spine. And then we're going to come into a lunge. So step your left foot back first and lower the left knee, so we can work on that right hip flexor. And we're just going to stay nice and low. And then we're going to straighten the front leg, come into a runner's lunge. So we're going to rock back and forth. So runner's stretch helps you to pull the roots out of the base of the spine and down the back of the leg, giving that hamstring a nice stretch. So just keep rocking forward and back. And then we're going to step back to downward dog, tiptoe the feet forward and give a little rock side to side. And then we're going to swap legs. Take the little runner's lunge and lunge stretch. So it's taking the left leg back this time. Or if you took the right leg last time, it's the opposite leg. Lowering the knee down to the ground, lift the heart. Exhale. Torso forward, hips back, rolling back and forth. Lift the heart, look up. Exhale and rock back. So just feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg and that rocking sensation. So you're pulling and drawing that energy up from the earth. And then we're going to step back to our downward dog. And a little walk of the dog, moving how it feels good to move, tiptoeing the feet forward. And we'll come to a chair pose in a moment, but just let the body hang here, keeping a bend in the knees, tuck the chin in, inhale, lifts. Exhale to lower. And before we go into our chair pose, we're going to do something called standing bioenergetic grounding. So come into mountain pose, feet hip width apart, bend the knees a little, and then slightly turn the toes in, so you're a bit pigeon-toed. Inhale, slowly bend the knees, and as you exhale, push through the core of each leg. So you can lift the energy out of the earth, imagine with the hands, and as you exhale, push the energy back down. Inhale, lift, exhale, push down. It's quite a nice way of creating that flow of energy. And then when you're ready, inhale both arms up. Chair pose, exhaled, bend the knees, hips lower. So your feet are hip width apart. And this grounding pose connects you with the earth. So a few years ago when I did some teen yoga training for trauma, this was the pose that was recommended for trauma. It requires that real concentration to stay in the pose, but that grounding, pushing down through the earth, gives you stability. Inhale, come up. Exhale, float the arms down. Now another strong pose here, connecting stability through the legs. Take the feet nice and wide, turn the toes outwards, knees come down as the direction of the toes, goddess pose. So the knees track over the toes, and you might need to get the feet a little wider. Palms at the heart center. Never lower more than the legs. The thighs come lower than the hips. That will sink into the hip joint. So always make sure that the thighs are higher than the hips. The hips don't want to sink too low. And then we could take the arms out to the side, or you could keep the palms to the heart center. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, and mountain pose again. Just settle, reconnect, feel energy. Inhale, palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart center. And we're coming to tree pose. So real rooting connection here. So take your foot below the knee to the thigh, or you could take the heel up to the opposite hip, coming into a kind of lotus tree. Palms at the heart center. Feel the connection from the four corners of your standing leg. You could change the placement of the hands. Inhale the arms over the head. You could exhale the arms out to the heart center. But see if you can visualize below the waist the roots of the body rooting into the earth. Bring the palms together, hands to the heart center. Mountain pose. We'll move over to the other side. So big inhale, bring the palms together. Exhale the hands to the heart center. Again, you could keep that extended knee, foot on the floor. You could take it below the knee, above the knee, or take that lotus tree. You don't have to do the same on this side. Again, choosing a position for the hand that feels comfortable for you. Moving around. We just want to feel that strong energy lifting up through the sole of the foot, all the way up the leg, pulling around the base of the spine. Feet firmly on the ground. Mountain pose. Check in and breathe. Now you might need your strap again here. You might also need a chair. I've got a little stool here. We're going to come into extended hand to toe pose. So rather than focusing on the balance, we want to focus on drawing the energy. So one option is to bend the left knee and hold on. You could take the strap around the sole of the left foot. So we're using the right leg first as that connection with the earth. If you don't want to use a strap, you could take the index finger around the base of the big toe. But if your hips or your shoulders are going too far forward above the hips, then just come into any of the other positions. We're going to take the leg out to the side. So you can do this with the leg straight or the knee bent, or you could do it with the strap. I'm just showing you all the options here. You might want to hold on to the support. Remember, when we're not focusing on balance, we are focusing on widening the base of the pelvis and at the same time rooting down through the earth. Take a moment when you've done the sides to focus in mountain pose. And we're going to do the other side. So you might want to take your support around. We're going to balance on the left leg now. So you can take the strap, or you could bend the knee, hold on to the shin. You could hold on to the big toe. You could hold on for support. I'm just showing you all the options. You choose one that's comfortable for you. Keep the shoulders stacked above the hips. Avoid reaching too far forward. Draw the energy from the earth. Hug the muscles into the bones. And take the leg out to the side when you're ready. It doesn't have to go all the way. Breathing is the key. If you can't breathe smoothly, you've gone too far. I'm going to bring the leg back, root down through the earth. That's probably the most challenging pose in this flow. So we're going to come down now, so folding forward, bending the knees as much as you need to. Take a little rag doll. And then we're just going to step back and come to rest on the knees, hero pose. Now, it might be that this is too much, sitting on the knees, kneeling up. So you could always sit in your comfortable seated position. If you can comfortably sit here, this is a great pose to focus on. For those of you who are familiar with this pose, you can do the extended reclined hero pose where you lean back and lie on the ground, taking the arms over the head. Now, I couldn't stay here for any length of time, although I can get into it. So I'm just going to come back to the hero pose where I know that I'm going to be able to focus on the pose rather than stressing about where I am. Shoulders stacked above the hips and breathing. So this is a stretch of the quads, but always be aware of the knees in this pose. Allow the buttocks to soften to the floor. Imagine you could stay all day. That is the guide of how to get comfortable. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale the hands into the heart center. And we're going to come into a nurturing pose, rock the baby pose. So we're going to cross the legs and then we're going to take hold of one leg and just give that leg a cuddle. So you might not be able to get the heel into the crook of the arm, that might be too much. Just come wherever is comfortable. And just again, give yourself a nice nurturing hug. Just as you were cared for as a baby, care for yourself in the same way now. And soften and carefully place the baby down and reach for the other side. So you might have more or less flexibility on this side. It doesn't matter as long as you use that same care and attention that you would for a baby. Devote that care and attention to yourself. Feel the nourishing, nurturing aspect of this pose. And we'll come to head to knee pose. So bend the right knee, take the sole of the right foot to the top of the thigh or around the knee. Now I'm using a strap here, you might not want to, but I feel this teaches me more about focusing on the length in my spine rather than trying to get my head to the knee. The head to the knee is a direction of the head. It's not a placement. We don't want to round the back and slump like I've just shown you here. We want to root down through those bony parts of the pelvis. And we want to lift the heart and imagine that we're extending the torso over the leg, flexing that left foot to feel that energy and connection, the back of the leg to the earth. Breathing calmly, feeling the extension in the torso. So some of you might naturally be able to extend the head to the knee, that's fine. Some of you might be in the position that I'm in. Inhale back to Dandasana, equal seated pose for a moment. And then we'll just swap sides. So again, you might want to use the strap. I quite like to use the strap in this pose because it extends my torso. It's a reminder not to overstretch and slump. So lift the heart, let the heart lead the way. Reach, reach, reach. Flexing the foot of the outstretched leg. Feeling the back of the leg connecting with the earth. Breathe. And for plants to grow, they all need to be nourished. So really nourish the body with your breath. And inhale, come up. That's it with a strap now. Take a moment in Dandasana. And then we're just going to roll over. Come into a child's pose once more. Child's pose, the most grounding, most nourishing pose. Remember how safe, secure you felt in the womb. Maybe you can't remember, but just visualize that now. Nourished, supported, held, nurtured, ready to grow. That's how we want to feel now. Feeling our strong connections, and at the same time feel that nourishing grounding energy, a solid foundation from which to build on. Maybe focusing now on the subtle energy at the base of the spine. Notice what sensations you feel here. And as you inhale, slowly coming out of the pose. And we're going to make our way to Shavasana. So any Shavasana that feels comfortable for you, you could take the constructive rest pose again. You could take a position that's comfortable for you. I sometimes like pentacle pose, where I stretch my arms over the head out to the side. So you're taking 4 corners of the body. And the arms 2, legs 4, and the head 5. I feel this really gives me space, but just take a position that's comfortable for you. Get comfortable and close your eyes. Welcome home to your body. And this is your time now to leave any worries at the door. Allow yourself to relax into the floor. Become aware of any sounds outside the room. Acknowledge them and let them go. Noticing any sounds inside the room and let them go. Invite your body to relax. Allow your feet and legs to soften. Relax the shoulders, the hands. Allow the whole body to soften down into a position that feels comfortable for you. The head and the face relax. Your scalp and your hair relax. Your ears, jaw, chin, cheeks, relax. Nose, eyes, eyebrows, forehead are soft and relaxed. Take a cleansing breath in now and breathe any tension out of your body. Allow your breath to fall to its natural rhythm. Just observe as you breathe in. Observe as you breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Watching the natural rhythm of your breathing. Bringing attention to the base of the spine, visualizing a vibrant red light swirling around like a tiny whirlpool. Notice how it feels, how it looks, swirling and moving. Notice its speed. Is it fast or slow? A small light, a big light. Notice. Now bring your attention to your breathing. Breathing in relaxation. Breathing out tension. Now begin to breathe in some red light into the base chakra, the base of the spine. Feel this red light spreading out, breathing in red light energy, breathing out tension. This red light brings you health, strength, stability. Let the red light fill you as it spreads down to your toes. Feel it empower you as it connects you to the earth energy. Feel the lovely red glow as it gently spins and envelops the whole of your body. You are strong. You are safe. You are grounded. Breathing in fresh earth energy. Breathing out the old energy. Breathing in security. Breathing out fear. Breathing in confidence. Breathing out fear. You are safe, secure, and grounded. Now bring in your attention to the red light at the base of the spine. Visualize it getting smaller, bringing it down to the size of a fairy light. Saying silently to yourself, I now have a balanced approach to meeting my earthly needs. All my needs are taken care of. Slowly on an inhale, draw the knees towards you. And then give yourself a nice long stretch. Slowly roll over to one side, back to a comfortable seated position. Inhale the arms over the head. Bring the palms together. Take a few easy breaths here with the eyes closed. Stay as long as you need. Thank you for joining me in this root chakra flow and relaxation. Take anything you need from this practice. Discard the rest. Namaste.